If your tank water heater's over 8 years old, you may be sitting on a ticking time bomb. It could start leaking without warning, causing far more damage than the loss of the heater itself. Consider replacing it with a Navien tankless water heater. No storage tank to leak, endless hot water for spa-like comfort, longer life, and backed by Navien's strong warranty. Before time runs out, visit tanklessmadesimple.com for the name of your Navien contractor.
Count on Navien.
Hey, this is BJ. Thanks for listening to our show's podcast. If you're a fan of all things geeky, you should check out my other podcast, BJ Shea's Geek Nation. We have new episodes every day, and you can check it out at bjgeeknation.com.
Your home is going into foreclosure and you feel like a financial wreck. You don't know where to turn for accurate information. I'm bankruptcy attorney Travis Gagne. Let's talk about some legal options. If we work quickly, we can propose a plan to save your home, modify the loan, or in many cases even eliminate your second mortgage. The consultation is free. I've helped hundreds of people just like you make informed decisions about whether to save their home or exit it on a reasonable, organized timeline. The chapter you choose sets the tone for the next chapter of your life. Please contact me today at choosetherightchapter.com. That's choosetherightchapter.com.
99.9 KISW, The Rock of Seattle. In this country, you're either one of two things: a dog person or a cat person.
I think I say you're either a KISS fan or a Zeppelin fan.
Okay.
It's the same thing.
Pretty close. Yeah. And of course, a lot of folks aren't digging the cat people.
Rude.
Because they're not digging cats.
Yeah. Rude.
They're saying, you know what? Cats got this reputation of being aloof. They're indifferent. They're kind of jerky. But, Rev, you'll be happy to know that
you're just like a cat, Rev. You're aloof, you're indifferent, and you're kind of jerky.
Yeah. And this new study out of Oregon State University, hey, look at that. Right in our neighborhood. Yeah. Turns out the cats act that way because of one reason, because of us. We're the ones that are jerks. That's what's making them act jerky themselves.
Yeah, that makes sense.
The researchers found that most cats really like their owners and even strangers too, if those people treat them nicely. Well,
how are you treating your cat? I thought the Rev treats his cat nice.
I thought everybody treats their pets. I mean, you get a pet for,
and you're kind of people. I wonder.
Well, here's the thing: what a cat considers nice is feeding them on time. And when on time, it's usually a couple of hours before we're supposed to feed them. So that's when Carl turns into an absolute jerk.
Oh, that's interesting.
So it's being nice based on what they feel is being nice.
Why don't you just feed the cat when he wants to eat?
Because it's not his time to eat. We have rules in place.
How does he know that? He's a cat. He wants to eat. Let him feed him at that time. That should be his dinner time.
No, because then it will get progressively earlier and earlier, and then I'm feeding him at like 2 a.m. This is something I have to feed him a snack, him and Frank a snack at 3:30 in the morning before I leave. So he leaves my wife alone for 2 hours. Because they will knock stuff over. They will mess with the blinds. They will literally barge in through the door.
Yeah. What's wrong with that? That's what I do to my wife when she doesn't feed me.
That's right.
I just start pawing at the blinds.
Sounds very similar to me. It really, really does. Yeah, it says here, this is what cracks me up. What person gets a pet, like a cat or a dog, and doesn't show it affection? Because this study says all you have to do is show your cat affection, and unless the cat's got a really, really standoff personality, it's eventually going to show affection back to you. Who's not showing their cat affection?
Dude, I wonder with some people. I don't get why some people even get a pet. Like, they just don't pay any attention to it. They don't spend any time with it sometimes. And I know some people, I don't understand the whole idea of having an outdoor cat.
Same.
I don't get it. Like, what is the point?
Oh, one day, maybe it won't come back. That's what I always had the outdoor cat for.
I said, let's just see one neighborhood cats just walking around. They're waiting at their owner's door. Like, hey, kind of want to come in. I'm your pet.
Well, the reason
to come into your house.
Here's why we had an outdoor cat.
BJ's one of the outdoor cat.
Yeah.
Of course, you look like an outdoor cat kind of guy.
I'm an outdoor cat guy. Well, this was a long time ago. This is 30 years ago. But I had 2 outdoor cats because we felt at the time, we're, kind of hippies, that, they could run free, nobody would care, and why would you keep them cooped up? Let them go out and have fun. That was kind of what I thought. Like, it would be, we used to let dogs run free, but then leash laws happened, but don't you think an animal wants to be out and, do its thing?
I don't know. I just don't understand the whole concept of having the pet if you're just going to like let it go.
And then they come back though, so you get to hang out. I go to work.
I don't know. Sometimes I see there's like people going around. I can't find my cat. I'm like, well, what happened to it? I let it out. It hasn't come back. Well, why'd you let it out in the first place?
Oh, yeah. So you got to make sure you got more treats than it can ever find out there. That's why it will come back.
Yeah, I used to have a cat that would just leave the house, and he was just kind of like, F this, I'm out. Something would piss him off, and he would leave for weeks at a time because he knew other families in the neighborhood would either leave food out for him or just feed him.
Or treat him better.
Yeah, basically.
Definitely.
And so he would eventually come back, and he'd tell me all about his stories and all of his adventures and everything. And,
he would he?
Yeah, he'd come back, and he'd be like, meow, 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 meow. And I'd ask him what his adventures were like, and he'd tell me.
Fascinating.
Yeah.
Okay.
So you won't believe what the Johnsons do at the end of the block.
Yeah. It was good to get neighborhood gossip.
Have you really started to realize we're working with a crazy person? They talk about crazy cat ladies. We got a crazy cat dude over here.
Yeah. Oh, 100%.
You know what it is, though? It's a bunch of significant others that didn't want a pet to start with that don't give the cat affection. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, the wife wanted a cat, the husband didn't want a cat. So it's like people like you, BJ, who don't give it affection.
I didn't give the dog affection. I actually dug the cats. The cats are a lot lower maintenance than the dog.
Yeah, just open the door and let them leave.
Yeah, we didn't have a litter box. Didn't need a litter
Your daughter
box.
doesn't even do that.
Yeah, I know. She stays.
Why aren't you more like those outdoor cats, Sarah? Just get out and don't come back.
Come on, I let her loose, but she comes back every time. And I told you our outdoor cats used to come in through the because we had a mobile home and there was a hole at the bottom. And so they would come in through the hole. We didn't have to let them out.
You guys are the epitome of class.
Yeah. Well, I thank you, epitome.
They were hippies. Yeah, hippie life right there, huh?
Yeah.
And tie-dye leashes and everything.
I didn't know that was what was going on. They found this secret exit themselves, and then I get up to go to the bathroom one night, 2 a.m, and all of a sudden the vanity door bust open, and these glowing eyes were looking at me. And I was like,
I remember that.
Hell?
They're just showing you what is wrong with the structural integrity of your house, sir.
Well, you know you're going to let me in.
BJ and Migs, mornings on The Rock, 99.9 KISW.
KISW, The Rock of Seattle. Look, I fly a lot, and it's tough when you have seatmates that aren't the most desirable.
Yes.
I get that. But
why are you looking at me?
But this woman, man, she just took it too far, and she ended up getting kicked off the plane, which I support. And it was because she had a meltdown, and she had a 4-hour flight, and she didn't like the people she had to sit between because she had the middle seat.
Right, and the people on the window in the aisle were bigger people.
And you know
not
what?
huge. Not huge. I watched the video. I mean,
they're not that big.
No, they're big, but not like. Look, I've been stuck in the middle of worse, and I've also probably been the reason for people being stuck in the middle. You know what I mean? Like, it just sometimes you just unfortunately are stuck around next to people that are not tiny.
Yeah,
but I wouldn't say that they weren't like giants.
Yeah, they haven't identified this woman, but she was insulting 2 fellow United Airlines flyers, sitting between them, later describing them as pigs. So her rant was captured on camera by one of the 2 people that were next to the woman on the flight from Vegas to Jersey. And of course, social media is just going crazy over this. It was filmed, shared online by a woman named Norma. She was traveling with the other passenger, who's identified only as Mac.
Good old Mac. Norma's a nurse, I was reading too.
In this video.
It matters, but I just felt like sharing that.
Probably had empathy. Norma's probably like, F you, you know what? People are people, and I'm going to share this to show what a douche you are.
Well, Norma's one of the women that she's talking about.
That's yeah. Yeah. Oh, wait. Is Norma the nurse?
Norma's a nurse who's sitting next to
this lady. That's what I'm saying. Yeah. So she's probably like, I'm a nurse. I'm not going to let you talk badly about these people. So
Norma is one of these people. That's what I'm trying to explain.
Oh, she is?
Yes.
Oh, I didn't realize Norma was one of the fat people.
Oh, my God.
Well, or one of the people she was called fat. I'm not, never mind. Wow. That was. Well, I didn't mean to say it that way, but I mean, so she's one of the people that was identified as fat.
Norma's the lady sitting at the window as this lady who's in the middle seat is on the phone talking blatantly about Norma and Mac.
And she doesn't even know she's being filmed, this idiot lady.
I got to imagine that Norma's kind of got the phone pointing at her, but not making it obvious that she's filming her.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So in the video that Norma takes, oh, poor Norma. I feel bad for Norma.
I bet you do.
I do. I mean, nobody needs to hear that.
Norma's one of them fat people, huh?
I know I said it wrong, but I didn't mean it.
I know what you meant.
But, so the woman says in one of the videos, she's going, well, At least these two will keep me warm, because they're heavy,
Oh my goodness! I don't know how I'm going to do this for the next 4 hours. It's just impossible because they're squishing me like friggin'. I'm stuck. But at least they'll keep me warm.
Bitch, please, okay?
Find me a window. Get me out of here. I gotta play back there.
Yeah, she's talking to, I think, it must have been a flight attendant saying, hey, find me a window. Because they're trying to put her somewhere else, which is what she should have done. If she's really that uncomfortable, get up, pull a flight attendant aside and be like, look, I'm stuck next to these two people that are a little too big for my size, and I'm not comfortable. Is there any way you could swap me out with somebody who's maybe smaller than me that could fit between them?
Yeah. Instead of doing that, she just continues to insult her seatmate, saying, quote, I eat salad.
I can't breathe. It's so squished. Well, I eat salad, okay?
Excuse me. Can you find her another seat? Because I will not be verbally abused by this bitch or anybody else.
Yeah.
Yes. I will not be verbally abused by anybody. I'm not tolerating it.
I can't sit here because it's both so big. I'm left and right. I can't even sit here.
Do this. Okay, if you want to, just go stand in the back, and we'll find a new seat for you.
Thank you.
So she is just a jerk. Sounds like a Northeasterner.
And as she's getting up, she even says it again, I eat salads.
Yeah.
Like, okay, congratulations.
And the other woman says you're being verbally abusive, which I think is Norma, right? That sounds that. And I love Norma, though. Norma's like, you know what?
Bitch.
I'm not taking his crap. Come on. And eventually, United Airlines was like, wait a second. There's only, you know what? Norma's right. This woman is a B from Apartment C. We got to get her off the plane.
Why don't you sit in between those two big things?
Bitch, kiss my fat ass, okay? You do every 400. I travel every week, and this is the first time I've ever put up with this crap, and I'm not having it.
I understand completely.
I am not starting my new year off with this type of negativity.
Kiss my fat ass.
See,
I love her so
I don't think
much.
Norma would be mad at me because she said it herself.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. So
Sure.
there you go.
Norma. Keep saying that, BJ.
Yeah. Look at Norma.
Somebody a couple seats back as they were pulling her towards the back of the plane. This is even before I think they decided, we're just going to kick her off. The guy's just like, dude, can you not be a jerk to these people? And then she just went off.
Yeah, I get that you're uncomfortable. I get that it stinks. First of all, you know what? What kind of planning do you do? Nobody wants the middle seat. Everybody hates it no matter who you've got next to you. Get your flight early so you don't got to have a middle seat. Book it early.
Look, it sucks because whenever I fly with my wife, she likes having the window seat. So I'm like, that's fine because she gets real nervous on the planes. I don't mind flying. I think probably like you. The flying process doesn't bother. In fact, more often than not, I'm asleep before we even take off.
That's so true.
But so I end up sitting in that middle seat a lot. And there are times where there's a bigger dude sitting next to me and I'm just like, in my head, I'm like, this is going to suck. But I would never think saying it out loud to somebody, not shame them on the phone right next to them. With obviously, they can hear you.
Yeah.
And poor Mac, you could just tell he was kind of just sitting there like, man, you're embarrassing me.
Yeah, really, thanks. I need this in my life. Thanks a lot.
Yeah, I don't blame them for kicking her off the plane.
Yeah,
she deserved that.
She surely did. You can't be a douche to people. And, something, get first class. Get business class. Pay for something if you really want to make sure that you got the right seat. But you know what? If you're flying economy, you're going to have to deal with whatever you deal with. And that's just how life is. I eat salad.
Where you can kiss her black ass.
That's right. Don't mess with Norma. Damn, dude. Damn. Good for you, Norma. Give it back to her. And of course, didn't she just look like the stereotypical snob?
Oh, gosh, yeah.
She really did.
I would like to speak to the manager, Mom.
Oh, my God. She looked like she just walked out of a fancy department store with her hair all did. Blonde. She just looked like an a-hole.
Blonde.
Seriously, it's always some blonde a-hole that's always that snob every time. It is, too. It's that.
It's like a snobby rich white lady.
Yeah, exactly.
And not rich enough to get freaking first class.
Exactly. That, the white blonde, probably just came out of Bellevue Square. That lady.
Well, because the laugh alone makes me hate this woman. The laugh was awful.
Yeah.
She sounded like an evil witch in a Disney movie.
Yeah, she is.
Homer says nothing like being a big dude as the hot girl sits next to you, though.
Yeah, but see, who wants a hot girl like that?
Oh, I don't know if that girl's not hot, the lady in the video. The one that was, I think he's just saying in general, like, it would be cool.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Never mind.
Yeah, I see what you mean. Yeah, it's either way, man. It doesn't, either way, it's just planes.
Oh, it's the worst. And I swear, I don't know what's going on. It feels like they're making these seats smaller.
They're making certain seats bigger, and they got to get them from somewhere, right, Steve? If they're making certain seats bigger, they got to be shrinking the other seats, I'm thinking.
Yeah, I don't know, man. But there are times, there's certain airlines where I get on, and I'm just, even just sitting next to my wife, I feel like I'm crunching her, Yeah. And it's not like I'm saying I'm small, but I'm definitely not. I should be able to fit in a seat and not be hovering over other people.
I'm spoiled because I had to get bumped because I won't do it again, but I bought a disabled seat, which, it's just in an area where it's like, hey, you may be kicked out of this seat. And so that happened to me, and then I had to go back to coach, and I forgot how tight it is back there. And I'm not that big of a guy. So a guy like you, Steve, or my son, oh, what a beating.
I was going to say, you're all legs, Steve, so I don't know where you put your legs when you're sitting on a plane.
It's tough. I'll tell you, sometimes I feel like I'm putting my legs on my chest.
Yeah.
It's hard, and especially if someone wants to recline their seat back, and it's just like, I get it, you want to be comfortable, but man, by you getting that extra 2 inches of comfort, my knees are crushed.
You're getting wrecked, yeah.
But what am I going to do? I mean, it's like, I don't feel like dropping the extra several $100s to go sit first class. I understand that's a nice, or sometimes I sound like I don't really want to drop $70 for the extra
premium,
legroom.
yeah.
It's like $70 for a couple more inches.
I know, but well, you know what? Vicky pays for that.
Yeah.
I don't pay for anything.
Oh, I forgot about that.
One person says I got stuck in the middle seat between two people who were traveling together. They were in a fight over food during the flight. It was hell. Yeah, I think if you're in a couple, I get the aisle and the window are awesome seats. But if you're going to be if you're in a couple and you plan on having, even if it's good conversations, like sit next to each other, man. Don't put someone through that misery of having to be in the middle of that.
I think it's ridiculous that they do that anyway. None of them want the middle seat, so they'll book it. I get it. They hope that nobody takes the middle seat. They might have the whole. But if it turns out that somebody did get it, I think it's really cool to go look. I'll tell you what. My wife and I are traveling together. We were hoping that seat was empty. So how would you like to have the aisle? Mm-hmm. And if they, and that way. Like you said, you got your own space and they can talk to each other. But when they talk across from you, it's a pain in the ass when people do that. I hate that.
I'm trying to take a nap.
Yeah, it's like, come on, dude.
Johnny says, my wife and I and the kids, we had 4 seats in a row. I sat with the kids while she sat with the strangers.
Gosh, I think she'd be happy. Whenever that happened, I love sitting in the other seat where my wife had to deal with the kids. So you have to
deal with the kids?
Yeah.
Yeah, you're away from the kids for at least a couple hours.
Yeah. I mean, I'm in the aisle so I can pretend like I'm there to help, but really I'm not.
See, I'd just be like, oh, those kids are terrible. Whose are those?
Yeah.
I think one of my favorite flying experience, one time I was flying by myself and I was in the middle seat and the two guys next to me, the one in the aisle in the window, also bigger guys. So the three of us were bigger. And when we finally all sat down, we all just looked at each other and just started laughing. We're like, this sucks.
Yeah.
It's like nobody's to blame.
Yeah, no,
it's
like
all of our shoulders are just pressed up against each other.
Yeah.
Did you just own it and just cuddle?
No, but we laughed about it. It's like, look, we're going to be uncomfortable. This sucks. Let's make the best of it.
That's why flying with Vicky's the best, because who doesn't mind Vicky getting? She's like a child going in that middle seat. It's like you got so much room.
And I could barely touch the floor. It's pretty awesome.
It is.
So he says I was flying next to a couple who are touching each other.
Oh, really?
Ooh.
Oh, that had to be a red eye.
Yeah. I don't know. Like, is that one of those things where you kind of pretend you're asleep and keep an eye on it?
Just pull out your phone, start filming. No,
I wouldn't film it.
If you're going to do that next to me, I'm going to watch. I mean, if you're going
to get some nuts and be like, hey.
Yeah, I'm going to watch. If you're going to do that, why can't I watch if you're going to do that? I'll just, yeah, exactly. I'll get some extra nuts. Can I have some warm nuts, please? Things are getting good.
Today's podcast is brought to you by bankruptcy attorney Travis Gagne, who's ready to answer your questions about bankruptcy. Travis, is it true that if you filed for bankruptcy once, you can't file again?
Even if you filed bankruptcy before, you can almost certainly file bankruptcy again. Different types of bankruptcies have different time limits between filings. In Chapter 7, full bankruptcy, you can only file Chapter 7 once every 8 years. However, you can almost always file a Chapter 13 case. Chapter 13 cases can be filed immediately following a Chapter 7. They can be filed immediately following a prior Chapter 13 case. Chapter 13 is a reorganization plan, so there will be some type of monthly payment, but it's based on your budget and your ability to afford that payment. So Chapter 13 is an option in almost all cases, even with a prior bankruptcy filing.
Thanks, Travis. If you have more questions about bankruptcy, you can reach out to Travis anytime at choosetherightchapter.com. That's choosetherightchapter.com. Thanks for listening.